Welcome in, everybody. It is a Thursday night. We're down here at the Crawfish Warehouse in downtown Jasper. Brian Hale, James Phillips, starting you off with the coaches show as we're going to wrap up the scores from last week and then do a little bit of preview for this week. James, I don't think we'll talk too much college football. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. ULM will play Bama at 6:45. Airtime on WJLX. We'll have the pregame at 3:45. And really, I don't really want to say anything more than that. What about you?
That's good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. We're good.
So let's go on to college football this week. High school football. Last week we had a Thursday night game. Lynn Hackleburg, and Hackleburg 24-13 win over Lynn. JP, the Bears uncharacteristically started off the season 0-2.
Yeah, Bears have taken a couple of hits there. Now, Hackleburg definitely a good football team, and Lynn hung in there with them, but 0-2 on the year for Lynn, they're not used to that, and it's even worse because you look right down the road and 2-0 is Addison with your former coach.
Yeah, I know. That's a tough one to swallow, but hopefully the Bears can get it back on track here as the season goes on. Let's move to the Friday night games, and let's start with the first one on the flagship. WJLX, obviously the Vikings, a big victory, 2-0 on the season, 62-27. You were at the game, you're calling it, JP. Give us a rundown.
You know, it's very difficult to find bad things that happened in that game. Jasper controlled that game really from start to finish. Now, they did fall behind. They had a couple little you could tell it's inexperience, that sort of thing. Crazy penalties to begin the game, that sort of thing. But they fall behind 13-6, and then they score, I think it was 56 unanswered points. That's a lot of points to put on somebody without them scoring. And Mekhi Pledger had an incredible game. Offensive line did a great job. Quarterback Lincoln Smothers really did not have to do a lot. He just had to play a consistent game and not make any mistakes. But he did score another rushing touchdown and threw another touchdown. So he's been on fire to start the year. But just fantastic game for the Vikings.
Absolutely. And, of course, that's going to all tie into this week, so we'll get to that in just a little bit. But corner 36, Dora 6. Dora is 0-2 since the beginning of the year, and the scoring is 6 for them and 82 for the other teams.
Yeah. I want to talk about the Dora game about as much as I want to talk about the Alabama game.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll go ahead and head that direction then. Winston County 46, Meek 22, and you might think a long time ago that this is just a kind of a dumb game.
Yeah.
But it really shows that both teams have really improved since week one. Both of them are sitting here 1-1. So this is going to be an interesting year for both Winston County and Meek.
Yeah, I think we have no questions answered as far as Winston County and Meek goes. If you look at 1 and 2, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing for both teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back and what happens over these next few weeks to see if they really are contenders or pretenders.
Well, a team that nobody really saw as a big contender, but it set Class 2A on fire. Cold Springs beats Curry 44-7, and I knew that Cold Springs had a good year last year, made the playoffs. They had a lot returning back, but wow, that's going to be a definite watch out. And Curry, I'm sure, has things worked out before this week.
Yeah, well, and I was surprised by that game. I really thought it would be much closer than that. I thought Curry would have the edge maybe in strength and physicalness, and it sounds like they got pushed all over the field by Cold Springs. Curry's one of those teams where they had quite the week one, a lot of success in week one against the Carbon Hill team, but then they falter in week two. So, we don't know what to expect, and now they've got Haleville coming in to start region play.
That's correct, and we'll be talking about that one as well. Game we broadcast, Hale County 26, Oakman 22. A really good game there, start to finish, but the most unfortunate thing is the really great running back that we've gotten to know throughout this summertime, unfortunately goes down with injuries for Oakman.
Is that Tyler?
Tyler, yeah, and we have not heard anything, but
Man,
really,
I didn't know that.
It's really tough. Jonathan, you've
Get to
seen
see
some
him.
of the videos.
Well, I got to see him on that opener at Cordova.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he took that team on his shoulders and single-handedly put them back in there. From my perspective, everybody knows it's a team effort, but I watched that kid, like I say, put his Wildcats on his shoulders and get them back within a touchdown, right? Down to the 10-yard line with
33 seconds
oh,
left.
man,
Yeah.
and it just came up short. So I did not know he went down. Any update on that status of?
I have not had anything, so I'm going to proceed when we talk later on about the Carbon Hill Oakman game. I'm just going to have to proceed it as if he's there or he's not there. You know,
right.
That's the way I have to proceed it. But unfortunately, in that, Tyler gets injured. But the one thing that we saw, quarterback play for Oakman really picked up. That's the two cousins, Coach Painter's son and Coach Hall's son, the two cousins. They played back-to-back, and they caught a number of good touchdown receptions today. And on that day, probably going to need it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll need those. And those are two really young guys, too. Aren't they both ninth graders?
I want to say that.
Or maybe one's even an eighth
grader. Yeah. Have to check that out. But, yeah, it's amazing. You're looking at the future of Oakman right there long term. So, moving right along. Oh, boy. Addison, 57, Decatur Heritage, nothing. I think that's self-explanatory.
Yeah, Addison.
57 or nothing.
Addison looks like they've got things rolling really early on, and we didn't know what to expect to start the season with Mark Hastings going there. We knew he would do a good job because he has everywhere. But, I mean, they're looking like the Addison of old right now.
Yeah, I know. That's quite a storm rolling. On the flip side of that, Northside 42, Cordova nothing. And Northside, I knew they were going to be a big challenge coming into this game for Cordova, following the big victory over Oakman. Good news is at least you get to come home this week.
What is that, a class game, or are they same class there?
I think a Northside might be one classification above, or they might be the same. I
feel like that does have a lot to do with competition in the high school game. Like classes I know they shuffle around a lot, but sometimes it's not enough.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. There's some that, are in each class that are just a head and shoulders above. But most of them, if you're playing a 2A against a 3A even, the 3A's got the advantage because of, just sheer numbers and depth.
Yeah, you guys have seen that a lot. I'm giving that the outsider's perspective looking in as I'm dipping my toes into high school football for the first time. And, so, when you see a score like that, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah.
It's a definite difference. We'll check into that later on, maybe during the commercial break. But lastly, the final game we had, Colbert Heights 54, Carbon Hill 38. And of course, our player of the week that came from Carbon Hill, Mike, absolutely dominated in that game.
Yeah, talk about Mike real quick. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it tonight. But Mike Baker, we did have him as the WJLX and WJBE Player of the Week. So congratulations, Mike. We'll get that to you ASAP, buddy.
And he had a great all-around game. I mean, guys, you're talking about from every aspect. He had 4 tackles and an interception on defense. He made a number of good catches as well. Was there on special teams. I mean, this was a good overall effort. So he really, really, really earned that.
Yeah, I think so. And just looking at the report from that game, it sounded like it was a really fun football game, too. Mm-hmm. And Carbon Hill stayed in it right till the end and just ran out of gas.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap up last week's scores. So, James, JT, and I will be back after about a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with this week's matchups. So, stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We are here live from the Crawfish Warehouse. WJLX, Brian Hale, James Phillips, JT, Jonathan Timmons. Guys, we're taking a look right now at what's going to be coming up this week, and the main theme of it, region play.
Yep.
What you've done up to this point is great, but what you do from here on out, this decides if you're going to go somewhere in the playoffs or you're going to go to basketball season early.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to put it for sure. And region play, every game counts now. You know, you can kind of start the season over saying you're 0-0 again because it's not affecting a whole lot. But if you're coming in this at 0-2, limping into game 3, you sure want to start region play off in a good favor.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, guys, let's start it up everything with the game of the not the game of the week, but the Viking game of the week for us.
Yeah.
Jasper at Decatur, you and Woody on the call, JP. Decatur comes in 0-2, and really we've seen how the Vikings have just shredded things the past couple of weeks. What's your assessment of what we're going to see?
I think it's going to be, last year the score was 55-7. Jasper came away with the win. I think you got to see something pretty similar because it seems like both those teams are heading in similar directions as they were last year as well.
By the way, do you know who the head coach of Decatur is?
I don't. I haven't looked at it yet.
John Ritter.
Yeah, John Ritter, as in Three's Company.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not the same guy, Brian.
Yeah, that's definitely not the same guy.
No, it's not.
But I was
yeah.
a huge Three's Company fan.
I figured so.
I'm much more of a Joyce DeWitt person, myself though.
Really?
Susan
Joyce
Summers.
DeWitt.
Yeah, Suzanne Summers.
Susan Summers here.
I figured you would be.
I like the cousin of Chrissy.
We have
Yeah.
derailed.
Yeah. Anyway, going straight on back, guys, what are we thinking this? Are we seeing that the Jasper establishes the run early and, just pretty much takes control over a winless Decatur team?
I don't like to look at last year's contest as any kind of signal of what this year's contest is going to look like. You make me nervous the way you you go back to 2024.
And it's not just 2024 though. I'm speaking from 30 years of experience of seeing football, and Decatur's not been a very good team for a long time, and Jasper's a team on the rise.
Oh, I'm taking Woody's stance. I know he's listening in, and he's cheering me on for not letting let's let the game. Let's see how it goes. I don't try and we'll have Coach Reeves up here in a second talk a little bit more about it. I'm not those. I can't. I don't know. I'm still figuring that out.
Well, I've got to fill the shoes of the Elmores, who were known to be crazy and say some crazy predictions and tell you what they think. That's what I'm having to do.
No forgetting kicked out of a Coleman press box too. Right. I understand it.
All righty then. We better cut that one right there.
Let's go to the Walker County game of the week.
Yeah,
Brian.
the county game of the week will be on WJBE. Haleyville at Curry. Haleyville 0-2, Curry 1-1. Zach and I on the call, and really right now both of these teams, they head into this game. It's obviously region play, but they've got to have some kind of answer back. Curry started off with a great win against Carbon Hill, then fell last week to Cold Springs. Haleyville 0-2. Obviously, this is tough stakes already to start off a region play with.
I was buying into Curry really big last week. I thought, man, maybe this is a program that's turning that corner a little bit, and but then after you go to Cold Springs and you lose as bad as you did, I should have sold faster. But I really think this will be a competitive game, but Haleyville's been really good the last few years. I think Haleyville comes away with the win for sure, but Curry's going to hang in there.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with the alma mater. I haven't lost faith yet. I still fully believe in Coach Cordell and what he's doing down there or up there. It was such a great moment to see them get the win at Carbon Hill. I was happy to be there because my entire time in high school from 1999 to 2003, I didn't see my high school win a game.
Oh, my goodness.
That's sad.
It was awful.
Well, those two games, Jasper at Decatur will be on, of course, on WJLX, and then Haleyville at Curry on WJBE. Looking away from our non-broadcast games.
Right.
First and foremost, Addison at Shoals Christian. Guys, I don't know if you saw the score on Addison last week. They absolutely mopped 57-0, and they started off really good. beating up on Winston County. This might be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I think Addison wins this one easy.
Well, I hate to hear that they beat up on Winston County. Not.
Moving right along.
They're in Winston County too, though.
One of our premier games, Oakman,
Favorites.
which is 0-2 at Carbon Hill, 0-2. And our main thing in this, to me, is do we see Tyler Thomas?
Right. I mean, a lot of question marks there, and Tyler Thomas, no joke, would make the difference on if I pick Oakman or I pick Carbon Hill.
Right now, I'm going to say if Tyler Thomas starts in the game.
You pick it if he plays the game.
Okay, if he plays the game, I'm going to say that it'll probably be somewhere in the upwards of 35-30 Carbon Hill.
Oh, you're still going Carbon Hill.
I'm going 35-30 Carbon Hill. If Tyler doesn't play in the game, I can't even imagine this. This is probably going to be really high scoring.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't play in the game, Carbon Hill's going to win this game. I think it could be a back and forth, like we're going to be throwing the ball like crazy and that sort of thing. But if he plays, I think Oakman wins.
Absolutely. Going through our final two area games, Hamilton, who is 0-2 and looking like a buzzsaw. Lise Cordova doesn't have to play him on the road.
Hamilton's 0-2?
2-0.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, right on. I was wondering how they were 0-2 and looking like a buzzsaw.
Well, it could be a buzzsaw that's falling really fast.
Well, I could tell you
Just
right
running
now,
without any wood in the feeder.
Yeah.
guys, it's a tough challenge, but it's a lot better challenge if you're not playing at Hamilton.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
You were talking about some home cooking up there.
There could be some referee
definitely.
shenanigans.
Again, outsider coming into high school football. Is that really the case
It's well
every
known.
year? Like,
It's well known.
Hamilton
Well
just
known.
home cooks.
People know.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Ask Cordova fans. They really know.
or Dora fans.
Any
Yeah.
Cordova fans in the house tonight? Any Cordova fans? No.
Nope. Okay.
Well, it's good.
Last of the county games here, Fayette County, which is 1-1 at Dora, 0-2, and Dora 2 games have scored 6 points.
Yeah, and I think I was told over the weekend that Dora's best athlete was injured last week and is out. So, I mean, if you're already 0-2 and have barely put any points on the board and your best athlete goes out, it's not good to be playing a team like Fayette County that's got quite the tradition down there.
Well, that's going to wrap us up for this week's. Next up, JP, you're going to have Coach Reeves on. We have a assistant coming on with it.
Coach Edrick?
Coach Cedric. Have a lot of fun. We're about to sign off here for JT and also JP.
We should tell everybody, too, we did attempt to have Coach Emerson on tonight, and he had a late scheduling conflict and had to not make it. But we'll
get him back.
We'll have him back on and wish the Bulldogs the best of luck this week.
Absolutely. So for JT and JP, Brian Hale, we're going to sign off. They'll be up next here with the Coach David Reeves. So just a moment.
And we are back live. It's the Coach David Reeves Show. James Phillips joined now by Coach David Reeves. And Coach Reeves, I'll let you introduce your assistant coach that you brought.
Yeah,
tonight.
we got Sed Wilder, a former Jasper Viking, come home, kind of left out of here and took off and did some hard time over in Mississippi, as far as coaching-wise. Been a lot of good programs and stuff, and brings a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience back home to Jasper, so we're lucky to have him.
Is this your first season?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I did some hard time in Mississippi too for about 3 years, so I understand. I was in the little town of Kosciuszko.
Oh yeah, know exactly where it is.
County.
Yep, Attala County. So is it good to be back home?
It's great to be back.
And you're coaching linebackers this season.
Yes, sir.
What can you say about that group so far?
Good group of guys. They work hard, run to the ball. They've been pretty good these last 2 games and very explosive.
Sorry, I was getting technical advice there. Running to the ball, I think that is exactly the key. Those guys have been running to the football and making tackles too.
Yes, sir, they have. It's been fun watching them. It's been a good experience coaching these guys too.
Yeah. Coach Reeves, let's talk a little bit about last week's game.
Yeah.
Struggled, just really early struggle, but got through it. You were down 13-6, and then your guys went on a run that we don't see very often.
Yeah, we knew they had a good football team coming in. I mean, they had the exact same team back from last year, a year older. We battled a lot of adversity last week with health and sickness, and there were a couple of days it looked like it's going to be hard to get a team to the game Friday night, and so we wound up getting most of those guys back. Now their stamina was still low, but they sucked it up and came out there and played really hard. We had guys step up all over the field for some of the sick guys, and so it was a great team effort. Congratulations to the coaching staff. Had great plans in all 3 phases. Congratulations to the guys for playing so hard.
Now, you guys had a lot of players play again. That's 2 weeks in a row. You're getting in a lot of your young guys. That's got to make you feel good, kind of build the depth up.
It does. I tell you, I'm a little disappointed. Those guys have been practicing since July 28th, waiting on the JV games to start. We'll finally get one on Monday for those guys. We had somebody cancel on us the week before last, and so or last week, I should say, and so really disappointed for those guys. But I am happy that we've been able to get them in kind of early the last 2 weeks, and at least let them run around a little bit and get a feel for what it's like being in front of the great Jasper crowds that we have.
Well, and they're getting in and they're getting enough playing time where they're actually making some things happen. Y'all have had so many different people getting tackles each week. It's good to see. Yeah,
it's really exciting. I know I'll let Coach Wilder talk about it, but we've got a freshman that's getting a bunch of reps at linebacker and a sophomore that's getting a bunch of reps at jack, and then some other guys stepping in at all positions. So really exciting.
Yes, we have Landon Borders and Cortez Pratt. They've stepped it up big. They get a lot of reps in practice. I was very excited to see them play this week. Borders shot out of that, and he really put up some numbers last week. First time being in like that, and both of them did a great job.
Yeah, we kept calling Borders his name out, and I was like, where did this kid come from?
Yeah, he's a freshman now. He's but it's great leadership from the older guys in that room. When you start talking about Lorenzo Maddox and Genoa McCanney and Josh Harrell and Drew Herring, some of those guys that have been there, for a minute, they do a really good job with those young guys in that room, and so it's really been good.
Yeah, and defense, holding teams. I can't remember what the score was as far as what the average is right now, but it's in the top 15 in the state in 6A. I noticed.
Well, those guys are playing hard. Coach Good and the defensive coaches, man, they've got a great plan every week, and they work the guys hard. I was a little disappointed. Of course, I don't care who's in the game. I don't want them to score, and when it's the other team. But I thought our young guys came in and battled. Battled some other guys, but that's just part of it. They got to come in and play with the same intensity and get after it that the older guys do.
How about the offense? Now, the offense they have showed up and averaging 51.5 points a game. It's second in Class 6A. It's 12th, I think, overall in the state. It's what I saw today that was sent out. And just seem to be clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive guys as well, just doing a great job at getting our guys in position where they can make plays. Our offensive line is really coming together with Coach Matchin, we got guys and they put them in the right spot and they're fortunate enough, we're fortunate enough to make some plays and they just keep making it happen. I know it's good for special teams and it's good for defense when your offense is putting up those kind of points.
And Coach, how do you feel coaching defense and having your guys to be able to tackle these backs and receivers that are running all over the field at practice?
Man, it's a good feeling, especially to learn from Coach Reeves and to learn the system that is in place and watching these young men get out and work hard. And you still get there, you look optimistic, but then when you see guys in practice and you see them fly to the ball and just sitting back and watching them, it's a very exciting deal.
Yeah, and I guess you guys get better practicing against an offense that's playing well.
It's good. It really makes us run to the ball. We learn things. We see a lot of different, and it helps us. It has definitely young guys that helps.
Yeah, no doubt. When you're seeing the kind of weapons that we have on offense, just on a daily basis, you can't help but get better. Even if it just changes your thought process with the angles you take in pursuing the ball, or how quick you've got to be to your gap, or whatever you're going to be late. I mean, it can't help but help us, and it has. And so right now it's in pretty good. Right now we're in pretty good shape health wise. So we'll see what happens. It's a big challenge Friday night. I mean, Decatur, they played two really good football teams. They're not lacking in speed. They're not lacking in athleticism. They're not lacking in size. They're just trying to find their way right now. They're just kind of trying to find what they need to lean on as as an offense, as a defense. And so our work's cut out for us. We're going to have to be at our best.
Well, and I know you guys are excited after two big wins to start the season. The fan base is excited. Who's been really excited has been a few of our sponsors. The first down for Burners, they're extremely excited, and the kickoff, folks. Sanders Aviation never thought they'd get this many kickoffs in the whole season.
Yeah, a lot of kickoffs so far. We've been very fortunate. A lot of first downs. I mean, again, very fortunate.
Now we've just got to sell the scoring drive sponsor. We don't have one for that. And as much as y'all are scoring, that should be an easy sell.
Well, we feel very, very fortunate, right now that things are going well, but we're not going to take that for granted. I mean, I've been around, this game a long time, and there's going to come a time where, we're going to have to lean on the defense, or where we're going to have to lean on, the special teams, and it all goes together. So we're excited about the direction we're heading, but we know we have a ton more work to do to make it through this 6A schedule.
Exactly. Nobody really wins anything in August.
No.
It takes a few months to really start winning.
It really does. And it'll shake out as it goes along. I think last year it was down to game 8, and if we win, we're the 2 seed, and if we lose, we're out. And so it was right there to the end, and I think that's the way it's going to be this year. I mean, Decatur is much improved. Coleman is always going to be Coleman. Muscle Shoals is a super football team. Hartsville's a super football team. Athens got tripped up a little bit the other night, but they're really, really good. They ran across my computer a few times, and so there's a lot of talent. I mean, in this league, and so we're just going to have to, stay humble. Obviously, not forget what it took to win a football game, because it's always the same stuff, and just stay working. Stay working.
Yeah. Well, we're all excited about what's coming up, and that's what we'll do next. Is we'll talk about next opponent is at Decatur. We start region play. We're going to take a quick break here on the Coach David Reeves Show on WJLX, and we'll be right back. And we are back. James Phillips here, the David Reeves Show. Moving right along here, week 3. We're already in week 3, man. And we've got Decatur, and we're making a road trip for the first time this season. Jasper heading to Decatur. Region game. Coach, how important is that first region game?
Well, I mean, they're all important. We're just going to play the team that lines up across from us and hopefully be the best version of Jasper that we can be regardless of who the other team is. And if we do that, then we'll live with whatever shows up on the scoreboard. But it is going to be a challenge. We talked a little bit about before the break, and I'll let Coach Wilder talk a little more about their offense here in just a second. But, we know they're big. We know they're fast. We know they're athletic. And we got to get going the road for the first time. And, we would hope that the maturity of this team now, that they've done it together and they know what it's supposed to look like, but you still got to do it. You can know all the answers, but you still got to go out there and do it. So, Coach Wilder, what about them on offense?
Well, on offense, they're very athletic. 2 quarterbacks that they rotate in and out that are very decent. Receivers are pretty decent, pretty good, a lot of speed. The running backs are pretty electrifying. Up front, they're very big, very, very big.
Yeah.
And they get after it. And, 2 games does not, show what their talent is or this thing like that. But they're very athletic and they get after it.
I expected they would be the biggest team size-wise that y'all have seen so far, probably.
Yeah, I think they're going to be. Brookwood was big up front, Sipsey was big up front, but these guys, they kind of dwarf them a little bit with what they're putting out there. I mean, John's done a great job. His coaches, you can see the buy-in from the coaches, the buy-in from the players. I've got nothing but respect for their coaches and their coaching staff, and we're going to have to be at our best, and we know that. And so we're going to go down there and see what happens.
Well, you heard me during the other coaches' show. I was just saying we're just going to take care of them, blah, 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 And I know it's a little bit more difficult than that. And the coaches don't want to hear me say that. I just got to be the brash guy at some
I
point.
wish that it worked that way. That's how I want it to work. The good guys always win.
Right.
I mean, that will make things a lot better. But I've known John for a long time, and I know the kind of football coach he is. We've seen him on tape. They went back and forth with the Buckhorn team. Had it a 1-score game late, and gave up one late. But had a chance to win right down to the end. And then the next week, you never know what's going to happen when you play a crosstown rival.
Right.
And it kind of the wheels kind of got off a little bit early, and they were, I had a guy or two go down, and so it's tough. I mean, I've been in those rivalry games, and that is definitely a rivalry game when you're talking about Decatur and Austin. I mean, probably going to be a lot like us in Dora here in a few weeks. You just never know what's going to happen when you put the rivalry games out there.
Right. Yeah, that's really true. They offensively, they've not been able to really get a lot going. I think they've scored maybe 13 in their first game and a touchdown last week.
Yeah, and to allude to what Coach Wilder said, it's not a lack of size, it's not a lack of athleticism, it's not a lack of their scheme. They're just they're searching right now for who they really want to be on offense. They do a lot of things and they do them all well. I think they're just trying to see what's going to be the best mixture for their guys. Defensively, they're 3 down front, fly to the football. They're big and athletic. They look a lot like they did last year. I mean, good gracious, last year I looked down there in warm-ups and wondered what we had just gotten into. I mean, they are super big and athletic even on defense. So,
well, and you guys going there, that throws a whole new wrinkle into everything. You kind of got to change up your routine, and I bet that affects an assistant coach more than it affects the head coach a lot of times.
Yes, it does. But
he needs to be careful right here.
Right. I was trying to set him up to get in trouble. I thought he might have to run tonight.
Not gonna bite on that one. But Coach Reeves does a good job. Coach Mothers also together. planning things out for us, bus trip and the food, get everything together. So they already got it organized.
I knew the
So,
assistant coach was going to know about the food too.
Yeah, listen. They don't let me do a lot around there, but they'll make sure I'm on. Hey, you get the food set up. Hey man, you get this. They won't let me coach anything. They just tell me to go over and sit down. They got this, and you know, fortunately, our coaching staff is a great staff, and they really get after it. So I get to do that. So
You talked about Decatur. They're a program kind of searching. You've been in that position at Jasper, and you're still kind of in that position with, you know, it's a new thing, and everything's still. What is this team going to be like? Because every year is different.
you know, every year is different. You know, we talk about it a lot. I mean, every year is different. Every game is different, and every play really has a life of its own. You know, and so we really talk to our guys a lot as a coaching staff, and you know, as a program about being in that moment. In that one moment, and handle what presents itself in that moment, and then we'll worry about the next play.
Right.
You know, and then the next play, and so it is a ever evolving, changing dynamic. But that's that's football.
Yeah.
You know, that's football. We know we can't even think about, you know, tomorrow till we get through the day's practice. You know, we can't think about the next team because we know what a talented team Decatur's going to bring to the deal, and we know what it's going to take to get on the bus and drive down there and you know, have a chance to win at the end. And so that's really all we're shooting for.
What are the biggest things that you guys have focused on this week?
just focusing. Biggest thing, you know, is just focus to keep it together, and working together as a team. Those are the biggest things we'll have focus on this week.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much that we really need to work on and continue to improve on, and you know, so we just keep preaching about, you know, being the best version of Jasper that we can be, just over and over and over, and we'll speak it into reality. And that's not coach talk. I mean, that's what we've got to be to have a chance to win a game. Is we've got to be our best version, and you know, as long as we do that, like I said, we'll look up the scoreboard and we'll feel great about whatever's up there, as long as we know we're being the best version of Jasper that we can be.
Well, and I know you guys have picked up 2 big wins, but they haven't been perfect wins by any stretch, because there's been plenty of times I've seen you about throw a headset down or something like that. But.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know,
but that's probably a good thing for a coach that they haven't been perfect wins.
Well, it is, but it goes right back to what I was saying. You know, the play before doesn't matter. The play that's coming up doesn't matter. That play was the one, you know, and as long as we stay focused in that manner, then we're going to be able to keep improving.
That's right. Well, anything else, Coach, that you want to add?
No, sir, man. I'm just glad to be around a good group of guys and to be back home and coaching a good group of guys as well.
Yeah, we're lucky to have him.
Coach Reeves, tell them why they need to come out tomorrow night.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, the crowds here, we need to take Jasper on the road. I mean, it's been so phenomenal playing at home in front of the great crowds, all the energy that I know they give our guys, you know, gives them a good chance to fuss at me from the stands. And so that's always a lot of fun, you know. And so, but they do. They need to come down there and keep the energy going and keep the support going. I couldn't be any more proud to be the head coach at Jasper when, you know, the fans show up that way, the players show up and they give it their all, the coaches show up and you know, make sure that they're on top of everything they need to be on top of. And so, you know, it's very fortunate. We just need Jasper to get in there and travel with us.
That's right. We want everybody who can to make it to Decatur tomorrow night to root on a Vikings win. If you can't make it, you can always check it out on WJLX on 101.5 FM. Or on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Be sure to tune in if you can't make it. But we would rather see you at the game even.
Yes,
so get there and
yes.
support the Vikings. Coach, good luck this week. Thank you guys for coming in, and go Vikes.
Thank y'all so much for having us. Go Vikes.
And we are back in. James Phillips here in the middle. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you're listening, I'm seated in the center between Brian Hale and Jonathan Timmons. Thanks, guys, for being here tonight. What a great night of high school football that we've talked about so far.
I'm happy to be back at Crawfish Warehouse, number 1, JP. It's been a pleasure these past 3 weeks, and the crowd is growing every week to week, so we appreciate everybody coming out. It's been a lot of fun. And a great interview with Coach Reeves and Coach Cedric.
Yeah, those guys, they were ready for Decatur for sure this week.
I got to brag also here, Crawfish Warehouse has an absolutely delectable burger, and I will be promoting it as many times. I tell you what.
Back-to-back Thursday nights.
Yes, back-to-back Thursday nights, and it was stellar. Come in, get your burger.
Well, I keep trying something different. Tonight I've got the seafood pasta about to partake in. It's got shrimp and crawfish with it.
Saw that. It's over there waiting on you.
Looks good.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Looks real good.
I smell it from
I needed
here.
to sample it for you.
Yeah.
But no, love the place, love the atmosphere.
And this is a great place to come out and watch some football. They're going to have Dallas and Philadelphia on here coming up tonight for NFL kickoff.
We got Virginia Tech and somebody hurt.
Over under 48. Where would you go there?
Over under 48. I'm going over.
I went under.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. First game of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could go either way.
Right.
But yeah, they've got Virginia Tech on right now.
Which is the recap.
Yeah,
right?
that's the recap.
It's a
Virginia
replay.
Tech
Replay.
and South Carolina.
Ah,
But
gotcha.
great place to come sit and hang out, watch some football. And then tomorrow night, you want to watch football on WJLX Facebook page.
WJLX Facebook.
And YouTube page.
YouTube. Streaming live on WJLX1015.com and the app, iHeartRadio. And if you can't get in, and then if you are going to the game Friday, because, I am. This is my first road trip with the Vikings. I'm excited about it. And we're going to be in the stands broadcasting live on the visitor side with our great fans.
That's right. We are going to be sitting in the stands. So we need some Jasper folks to show up and to be as rowdy as possible. So we don't look like the crazy people. Because I was told last week in the press box, I scared my wife on a couple of touchdown calls.
Well, now you can scare more people.
Right. We'll be in the middle of the crowd. So
really excited. We got a big Instagram follow today. I'm not sure if you knew this existed, but the JHS student section.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. But between that and we've got the Mick Daddy, whatever was that?
Big Mac Steppas.
The Big Mac Steppas.
Big Mac Steppas, yeah. Big Mac Steppas and JHS student section all supporting the broadcast. Great memes out there. They have a Barstool logo. I don't know if they're officially affiliated with Barstool. But
I can't.
We might have to have some of those leaders of the student
I
section.
absolutely.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to see Coleman Week on that page. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's some good memes out there. There you go. Looks like who is that right
Is that
there?
Mackay Pleasure?
That's Mackay on the body of Sean Alexander, maybe.
Yeah, that's wild. Or no, that would be Marshawn Lynch.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Because he's in beast mode.
Yep.
Cool. We got some cool
Yeah.
memes. Go check out
Great
the Jasper High School student section. What's the handle on it?
I think it's that exactly. JHS. No, I'm sorry. It's Jasper Barstool.
Jasper Barstool. Check them out. Check out Jasper Barstool on Instagram. Right?
I love it. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys, you want to talk about? We got 3 minutes before we take it to the house.
Just congratulations once again to Mackay for our player week. Also, Mike Baker. Hope to have Mike on maybe in a couple of more weeks. They just had a scheduling conflict. That's the nice thing. We've still got plenty of time to have them on. So.
That's right.
Well, looking forward to another weekend of football, boys.
Timmons, I was so proud of you when you told me this week that you had so much fun on the sideline the other night because it was your first time to be on the sideline.
Yeah, first experience on the sideline, being a media dude. Got media pass and everything. Thanks, Brian, for getting all that squared away for this radio station a couple months ago. Got some great footage of Mackay's third touchdown of the night and was hanging out down there with our good friend Jonathan Jordan, athletic director, Ron Harris, and Sean Ernest, a couple of the photographers down there. So.
Right, yeah.
Had a blast.
I just told you got to keep your head on a swivel. There's a lot of big guys running through there.
They came at me.
And they'll take you out easily.
I got moves.
Well,
Still got moves.
you're like a ninja.
Yeah. Cat-like reflexes.
Yeah. And they don't realize you were a Marine, so like you could really hurt them if you wanted to. All right. Great night tonight here at Crawfish Warehouse. Be sure to come out next week and join the atmosphere and support our local athletics and support a local business that is amazing like Crawfish Warehouse.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. Region play. Get out and see some football games.